Teaching isn't for everyone. It shouldn't be for everyone. And so if people leave the profession after a year or two because they realize that, that's good. We probably don't want those people in classrooms anyway. Yeah, I don't think that's said enough to people. And so they sit with this guilt, or they convince themselves to stay because they feel bad about leaving. I mean, that was me, honestly, for a long time. I don't want to leave. I love teaching. I plan on doing it for as long as I can. But I definitely sat with guilt, being like, well, I can't leave. If I did want to, I couldn't, because who would do my job if not me? And it's like, someone would do it, right? Like, and that's, it's weird because teachers do have this sort of like, we can't accept praise a lot of times, but at the same time we also can't imagine anyone else necessarily doing we also have some control issues, I think.
Right.
And so it's an interesting sort of juxtaposition of both of those things happening. But when people talk a lot about that, like, this is how many people leave after a year, this is how many people leave after 2 years, and they, I think it's interesting that we say those numbers a lot, but it's like, I think we should say them with this like disclaimer lens of like, and it's okay. Because I think that also plays into this, like, what's wrong with teaching is that, like, there's this stigma of like, oh, you walked out on the kids, or you did this, and it's like, sure, we can think of it that way if you want, or we can think of it as like, no, they actually did the kids a favor by leaving, because if their heart wasn't in it, and so I think I would love to get rid of that stigma of like teachers leaving the profession is such a bad thing. And